Good afternoon to Luxo Jr. and all of those desk lamps who hopped on over to this short about features. Today, we look into the soul of the Emeryville-based computer animation studio that is responsible for 23 long-form fan favorites. Pixar has earned over $15 billion at the box office, averaging around $660 million per picture. 5 of their movies are among the top 50 earning films of all time. But it's not just about how glorious their gross is. The now Disney-owned subsidiary is about telling stories, and not just Toy Stories. Time to deliver in the Pizza Planet truck, skip cars, and be brave as we go onward for this Pixar-perfect episode of Brain Drain. Pixar Origins. Oh, you're still watching. That's a good dinosaur. Some fun prehistoric facts as we approach our countdown. Pixar Animation Studios began in 1979 as a division of Lucasfilm. Back then, it was known as the Graphics Group. Pixar was spun off in 1986 with financial and emotional support from Apple co-founder Steve Jobs. That very year, a short film was made featuring a jumping desk lamp. That happy hoppy lamp would be Luxo Jr., of course, who is still their famous mascot, who dots, or rather crushes, the eye to open each movie. Disney purchased Pixar in 2006 at a valuation of $7.4 billion and can now be celebrated at theme parks, in video games, and at award shows, as it has taken home 20 Academy Awards, 9 Golden Globes, 11 Grammys, and the hearts and minds of millions. Why is it called Pixar? In the early 80s, while the designers were using a new digital compositing computer called the Picture Maker, Alvy Ray Smith wanted a catchier name, and having grown up in New Mexico, loved any English word that could sound Spanish. Alvy invented the word Pixar, meaning to make pictures. Fellow founder Lauren Carpenter preferred the high-tech sound of radar. The two words were combined, and Pixar was born. The people behind Pixar are constantly putting hidden Easter eggs in their movies. One can, of course, find Pizza Planet trucks at every turn. You can also spot A113 in all Pixar movies. That's an homage to the CalArts classroom that directors John Lasseter, Brad Bird, Pete Docter, and Andrew Stanton once called home. See, it's here, and there, then everywhere. On to the top 10. We thought about rickrolling you, but he's never gonna give you up. Here's the Disney Plus size top 10 best Pixar movies to date. Number 10, Inside Out. This 2015 joyride gave us all the feels. In fact, all the characters were the feels. Going into the mind of Riley granted us access to the lead of Parks and Rec, Amy Poehler, and 4 folks who made appearances on The Office. Phyllis Smith as Sadness, Mindy Kaling as Disgust, Bill Hader as Fear, and Rashida Jones, who was featured as Cool Girls Emotions. We all had deep emotions when we had to say goodbye to Bing Bong, and can never forget that triple dent gum jingle. Number 9, Ratatouille. Anyone can cook in this Oscar-winning tale where culinary savant Remy, voiced by Patton Oswalt, befriends and helps the hilariously named Alfredo Linguini find his place in the family bistro business. If you think having a rat marionette your hair into creating a dish that will make a food critic relive his childhood is weird, then forget Paris and forgive director Brad Bird, because this 2007 classique is not pour vous. Number 8, A Bug's Life. Pixar's second feature was the very first film to be digitally transferred frame by frame and released on DVD. It's the Aesop fable, The Ant and the Grasshopper, meets a flea circus, and has incredibly impressive crowd animation, as well as jokes that are as beautiful as a butterfly. Perfectly cast with the likes of Dennis Leary as a ladybug, David Hyde Pierce as a walking stick, and John Ratzenberger as P.T. Flea. John Ratzenberger, who is in every Pixar movie. See? He's also in Cheers, where everybody knows your name. Bum, bum, bum. Number 7, Coco. Remember Me? It's impossible to forget, and even harder not to cry, simply narrating how special Coco is. The Day of the Dead in Mexican culture is honored as young Miguel visits the land of the dead and his ancestors. Great music and lyrics underscore the power of memory and the importance of family. This 105-minute magical spirit guide serenaded and dominated 2017, earning 2 Oscars, forever resting on the Pixar ofrenda. Number 6, Up. Up was the first animated film to ever open the Cannes Film Festival. It has the best score of any Pixar movie, and arguably the most gripping emotional 4-minute montage in the history of cinema. When you watch retired balloon salesman Carl Fredricksen go on an adventure of a lifetime to honor his late wife Ellie, you can't help but find yourself scrapbooking and wanting to fly to Paradise Falls yourself. Number 5. Finding Nemo. The best-selling DVD of all time has no great barriers beyond the reef. An overprotective clownfish and a blue tang with acute short-term memory loss search for an only child. What a plot! This $940 million grossing movie did lead to the tripling of clownfish sales, almost to the point of species extinction. Yikes. But Dory won't remember that. The Oceanic Eye Candy was the first Pixar movie not to be scored by Randy Newman. But, as Crush, the sea turtle voiced by director Andrew Stanton would say, "It's still awesome, Jelly Man." The soundtrack honor stayed in the fam and went to Randy's cousin, Thomas Newman. Number 4. Monsters, Inc. Mike and Sully are a scream in this high-energy workplace comedy. The success of Billy Crystal and John Goodman's monstrous performances led to a prequel, Monsters University, and the Disney Plus series, Monsters at Work. The impressive scale and fur animation, epic door chase scene, and the power of Boo's laughter all come together for a movie that's titled as an homage to the 1960 gangster film, Murder, Inc. Speaking of gangsters, after 15 prior Oscar nominations, Randy Newman finally won his Academy Award for the song, If I Didn't Have You, sung by Mike and Sully. Number 3. The Incredibles. Pixar's first PG-rated movie proved that the superhero relocation program was a bad idea for the country, but a great idea for Metroville and a movie. Mr. Incredible, Elastigirl, Violet, Dash, and Jack Jack bring the action and laughs, while Pixar animated humans for the first time, and also used their first outside director, Brad Bird, an iron giant of a risk at the time. Bird flies high though, and kinda steals the movie as the voice of Edna. Number 2. WALLE. WALLE stands for Waste Allocation Load Lifter Earth Class. It also stands the test of time, as both a sci-fi film and a romantic dramedy. It required over 125,000 storyboards, and the first half hour has no dialogue while showing a grim, realistic view of a planet ravaged and abandoned. It's Pixar's smartest movie, with commentary on environmental waste, obesity, and consumerism. Pretty bold and ambitious, like the female lead, and surprisingly welcome for a robot movie. In 2016, the Oscar-winning WALL-E was voted the 29th greatest film in the past 100 years, according to the BBC. And number 1, Toy Story. The one that started it all goes from 2 Infinity and Beyond to number 1. Actually, Toy Story 1, 2, and 3 would all make this list, but we're grouping the franchise favorite as the best Pixar has to offer. The first 2 of the trilogy have 100% scores on Rotten Tomatoes, with the third at 99%. Both Toy Story 1 and 2 would have won the Oscar for Best Animated Feature had that category existed before 2001. Toy Story 3 not only won Best Animated Feature, but was nominated in the Best Overall category as well. The perfectly cast and now cast-aside toys remind us of the hardest and most wondrous parts of growing up. How do we react when we feel replaceable? How do we move forward when we can't go back? And, more conspiratorially, is Andy's nameless mom the young Emily who gave Jessie away in Toy Story 2's childhood flashback? Hats off to that well-read theory. Cue the Sarah McLachlan. Speaking of conspiracy theories, do you believe the Pixar theory that all the films take place in the same universe? Do you find it impossible to rank movies that are all so easy to love? Have you never felt love? That's okay, the next video should be starting soon anyway. Thanks for watching Brain Drain, I'm Tom Polos, and don't forget to subscribe. It's a no-brainer.